My Africans, my Africans, we cry out of pains of what the foreigners have done to us. We say our fathers were killed, chained, and enslaved, and our young ones raped. So when we travel abroad, we get so angered when they call us monkeys or animals. We fight for equality. For quality, we fight against inequality. But yet we come back home and form disparity against all isopolity. We say we were tied like slaves by our enslavers, but yet live like slaves without our enslavers. We fight against racism, an ideology that a race is superior than ours. Racism, a demeaning of our race. Things are falling apart, as they say, and the center cannot hold because man's terror is unleashed upon our land. We say we fight for independence, and the whites say, give to them, and like animal, they will fight themselves to death. They say they are dogs, give them bones, and see them kill themselves. My Africans, we make this to be true by our actions. We travel abroad, and when they call us nigger, our hearts boil of holy anger, of destruction, because of discrimination without caution. But yet we come back home and from division because of tribalism. My Africans, living in a continent where the North Africans say they are not Africans, they claim, but Europeans and Asians, they say. But they fail to realize that history holds that the early pharaohs were mostly blacks. They say the East Africans are uncivilized, full of poverty, shame, and death. They say the West Africans are ambitious, full of fraud and internal crisis. And they say the South Africans are marginalized, cheated, and they resort into manslaughter. But you see, every one of us has our own successes, and we need to appreciate this. You see, do you know that the streets of Benin were wide and straight even before the Portuguese came? That the people of Benin were known as artisans, people that could craft iron into art and were appreciated by all. Do you know that the throne of Bonu is 1,000 years old? Do you know that Kanu built a wall around Zaria? That Queen Aminat was a warrior never defeated. Do you know that the mystery of iron was first resolved in Just? That Tumbaoku was a city of intellectuals and library even before the invaders came? Do you know that South Africa is called the city of gold, not because of men say, but because of its ability to produce gold like stones? Do you know that Great Zimbabwe was a city in history? And Ethiopia is a city never colonized. Do you know that long before Christopher Columbus in 1492, Musa of Abubakar in 1324 crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Do you know that the Europeans came to Africa with more than just the Bible? That the Zulus were gunned down with machine guns? That education is meant to keep us in bondage, and our textbooks written to erase our histories? And do you know that telling these histories to our children can help heal our hearts and our land? My Africans, living in a continent of great divisions. What a pain. South African called the Rainbow Nation because of its ability to welcome all the nations. Today, it's called the Red Nation because of its ability to kill the nations. What a pain. And you see, they kill the black, the minority, and not the whites, the majority. And yet they call it sweet name, Xenophobia. A detest for foreigners. But in reality, it's simply called Afrophobia. A detest for Africa, my brothers. My African. We go out and fight against racism, whereas we come back and form tribalism. Where before you open your hand and say me welcome, you must first ask me, which country are you from? Where in Nigeria cannot live in South Africa without the fear of being killed, and a Ghanaian cannot go to Egypt without the fear of being imprisoned. And you see, I can't get a house because I'm not a native. I can't build a house because I'm not a native. Can't get a job because I'm not a native. How then can we say we are not primitive? My Africans, we fight against racism, but yet live on tribalism. But you see, when the Creator was creating man, there was no Hausa or Yoruba, no white or blacks. Do you know we have our own rights to truth? It's not different from theirs. Telling this history could help heal our land. My Africa. They say that tribalism is different from racism. I say it's two sides of same coin. The whites call it racism, that their race is better than ours. We call it tribalism, that our tribe is better than the other. You see, we need to see ourselves in each other because we are one Africa. As my father will say, I am African and I am proud to be that. We are one African. Let's live together. Let's stop xenophobia. God bless you.
Wow.